Actually, look, it genuinely looks like you've got a mangina.
Coming up, yet another game bird bothering Fox to deal with locally, and I head north of the county to assist Andy and CJ in their efforts on the chicken farm, where we have a very productive night. This is Foxing, and this is Team Foxer.
Well, hey guys, and thank you very much for tuning in. In this video, we're going foxing, and you join us on what was a really productive weekend, both locally here on the partridge shoot and then with Andy and CJ over at the chicken farm, where I shot no less than 12 foxes in one outing. Thanks mostly in part to the amazing kit that I was using at the time, the Stellar 3.0 SQ50L thermal rifle scope and the incredible Habrok Pros. Now, before I get on with the foxing action, I'm going to give you a bit of a review, if you like, of what I believe is truly the best spotter that I've ever picked up. So if you don't want to listen to that, then skip to this time down below. Otherwise, stick around and I will give you a bit of an overview and a 2 months in review of why I think this is such a fantastic piece of kit. Okay, so this is the Habrok Pro HX60L. It's the flagship model in the Habrok range. There is a Q50. The main difference between the two is that the Q50 has the 640 sensor, same sensor that's in the Stellar 3.0, and the 1280 sensor that's in the 60 is obviously a higher resolution sensor. There of course is a cost difference, but fundamentally the principles are exactly the same. The really key party piece with this spotter is that you have an optical channel, so you've got the amazing image quality from the 4K camera that's in the 4K scopes, along with an awesome thermal spotter as well. Ergonomically, the design and buttons lend themselves to being extremely pragmatic in the field, so that using them becomes second nature pretty quickly. The focus rings are nice and soft, and the fact that you can get both eyes kind of dialed in to get fine detail is yet another string to the bow. What they've done with the Habrok Pros is really considered everything that people want out of a spotter. So when I'm out foxing, I want good range, I want great field of view, I want accurate ranges to my targets, and I think above all else you want decent ID, IDing on your quarry. The flatlands of the fens round here, it can be very difficult sometimes to get an accurate range because it's so flat, and it's not uncommon to kind of spot foxes at 500-600 yards. So when you've got an accurate to within 1 meter laser rangefinder that's capable to go out to 1,000 meters, that then is very handy indeed. In fact, I'm pointing to the wrong bit there because the laser rangefinder's right in the middle here. This piece here is actually the IR. So when you flick over to the optical channel, and you can do that both in the day and the night, daytime gives a phenomenal picture quality right out to 28 times zoom. So perfect for deer stalkers and nature lovers and the like. But in night time, it'll either automatically switch on the infrared light, or you can activate it using this button here, press and hold, and you can turn on the IR torch. And then you can also focus the IR torch into a tight beam. That's particularly good for me. That's why I love this product so much, because I have had instances, even with the 1280 thermal sensor, if I've got a fox sat out at a couple of 100 yards in a field and it's laid down, it's not got the usual outline of the fox, of course, because it's either laid down, or I had it again the other night where I thought I saw a fox in the grass margin right at the edge of a field, again a couple of 100 yards away. So all I did is I flicked it, pressed this button here, flicked it onto the optical channel. Sure enough, I get a nice big set of eyes looking back at me. They blinked. I knew straight away it was a fox. As it was, it then actually came out of the grass tracked around the back of a bush, and we got that one as well. But that's what I really love about them. They've just got everything in one package. Again, ergonomically designed. The fact that you can set these up to really fine tune the image quality for your eyes. You can take pictures, you can take videos. So I'll just run through the controls on the top here. You've got your power and standby button here, which is great. Battery life is phenomenal. They've got a new battery pack for the Habrok Pros, which is a super large battery, and I've been out, I mean, it gets dark nice and early now. We're getting dark at, well, just after tea, before tea time really, so I can go out now at 5 o'clock in the evening with it already being dark, stay out to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, as you'll see in the video upcoming, and you've probably lost 1 or 2 bars battery at best. No qualms about having to need to charge it up or anything like that while I've been out, so brilliant. And what's also really good is the fact that when you are out and you hang the Habroks around the neck like so, they will automatically power down, conserving battery life. So if, like me, when I'm out, I've got the sticks up, I sometimes steady the sticks or keep a hold of it just so I know where I'm at, especially if we're out calling. You can pick the unit up, it will automatically come off of standby. You can have a look round one-handed, great field of view, put the product down as it hangs around the neck, automatically conserving battery life and powers down, so brilliant. But of course you can manually take it out of standby as well. Next up is the camera or camcorder button. So with this one here, again, as a content creator, push and hold to be able to start recording, push and hold to stop recording, or single press and that will take an image. You've got your laser rangefinder behind that, which is a fantastic feature. Here in the flatlands of the fens, it can sometimes be a little difficult to get an accurate range on something that's probably over 400 yards, but I have ranged accurately foxes out to 6, even 800. This is accurate to within 1 metre, this laser rangefinder, and it works incredibly well. And the other thing I love about it is if you press it, you can have it so that it scans for 15 seconds. I was out ratting with Dwayne a few weeks ago, push that, you know, arrive at effectively your stand. This is where I'm going to shoot. So I push the button, have a look around, push this button, it starts scanning. I'm going, right, that's 20, that's 15, that's 23, and that's 13 yards. So I then know my ranges instantly, it turns off, and away you go. Over on the right hand side you have the button to be able to select through the different colour palettes, and this also changes it from the thermal to the optical channel. So on the thermal channel you focus in using this ring here, and on the optical channel you focus using this ring here. It automatically, you can set it so that it will automatically turn on your IR torch, but if you want to manually turn it on again, you can use the same button to enable you to do that. Further back from that, you've got the menu button. This here will allow you to select the sub menu for quick access to brightness and contrast and stuff, and I would recommend doing that each time you go out, because each ambient moisture level, etc., and atmospherics are slightly different from one night to the next, and you might only have to move it up or down 1 or 2 on the settings menus, but I would recommend doing that simply so you can get the very best out of it each and every time you go out. So that's your menu button. Once you're in the menu, you use the 2 right up and down buttons to be able to get scroll through, scroll up, scroll down, and then press and hold the menu button to come out of it. And then lastly, the single button here is the zoom function button. So works really well on the optical channel. I very seldom use the zoom on a thermal channel, there's simply no need really, but I really think that's going to suit the kind of deer stalkers and nature observers a little more than maybe the fox shooters. As I mentioned, it's not perfect, because the one thing I would change is the lens caps. If you've got them both down, sometimes, and I've had this when I've been out walking, they sometimes have a tendency to knock into each other, and they make a bit of a clanging noise because they're quite firm material. So to get around that, if I'm out and about, I tend to be looking through the thermals and going out at night, and I keep that one on, and then all I'll do is, if I want to optically range something or optically see something to ID it, take that one down, have a look through my optical channel, and then when I've finished I'll put that one back up. So that's how I get around that. But overall, guys, I'm so impressed with these. These are just phenomenal. If you get the chance to have a look through these at a live demo evening, I would strongly urge you do so, because I honestly think that once you've had this, had a go with it, you'll probably not want to really look at anything else. They are that good. So there you go, that's a brief overview of the Habrok Pros and why I like them so much. You'll see them in action in this video, and I'll probably point out 1 or 2 more features as well. Next time out, I'll take a little bit more of an in-depth look at the Stella 3.0 thermal rifle scope. But for now, let's get on with the foxing action.
So, out with the keeper, who, while feeding up, had noted fresh fox footprints known as feeting around the partridge pens and feeders inside the covers. Setting up on the farm track with the architect caller, first off playing fox fight sounds before switching to a rodent call. And using the Habroks, I caught sight of movement in the rough grass next to the maze. The fox, at around 200 yards, startled by the muntjac, was about to come onto the farm track, so I get ready on the rifle.
That's 174 yards. Well, now that is a result. It's a lovely evening. If you can just see the sort of red and greens, but I've just taken a phenomenal picture, or a couple of pictures with the camera, and I think this is the 10th fox we've had out of this bit of cover, but that was a decent call. Spotted it in this dense grass. It came out of one bit. Here's the partridge drive, of which, like I said, well, I don't know how many bloody foxes have shot here now. Far too many. And we kept seeing feet in and around the partridge pen. Sure enough, he comes out, puts the caller on. That was a rodent distress call on the Architect Nomad. And bang, 174, 108 yards-ish. We have ourselves fox number 10 off this same area, which is unbelievable, it really is. Well, I would say that was straight in the heart, judging by the amount of blood there is. Yes. Straight in the engine room. That wasn't going anywhere, was it? Sorry guys, but I forgot to mention at the start, there is still time to get your FOXES seatbelt blanking clips in time for Christmas. Email me at the email in the video's description. I'll forward you the payment details and we'll get them sent out to you. These are great for stopping that annoying beeping as you're going around your permissions. Obviously, don't forget to take them out as you go back on the public highway. Thank you.
As promised, I need to give a shout out to Dave from Southbank Pest Control in York. Thank you very much for the purchase of the clips, Dave. Having loaded the essentials, we're straight into the action at the chicken farm within minutes of arrival. This fox coming in beautifully to the lip squeak. Scanning around using the Habroks, we can see everything in brilliant detail. And just past Andy's truck is the heat glow from the fox that we've just taken. Several minutes pass and myself and CJ walk over for a look when Andy signals that we've got one behind us.
It wasn't very far, was it?
Following a successful night last night for the keeper, I'm out with the boys. Well, I won't disclose the location, but big chicken farm. First stand, called in this vixen. Came in a treat, and Andy spun round while we were looking at this one and taking the photo, and said there was another one right behind us, so I spun round, didn't have time to press record because it was quite quick, and side on, down it goes. Just about to try and get into the chicken run, I would assume. So 2 down, early doors, good result. Christ, that's a fat one.
Vixen.
Look at the tail on that.
I would say that one is related to that one.
Ooh. I think it's that first one that stinks the most. Look how fat that is. That's a mature fox, that one. Great result.
Giving it another 5 minutes before moving on, I think this goes to show just why thermal trumps NV in most situations. With the NV, you get what's known as whiteout, where the IR light bounces back at the sensor and overexposes the image. However, with the thermal, it cuts through that and shows that we've got a couple of deer here behind this tree. As I'm messing around, CJ taps me on the shoulder and signals there's a fox in front of us as we stand there with our brace all ready. Note the body language here, this is a classic case of getting winded by the fox. Luckily for me, it pops out the other side of these trees, and at a couple of 100 yards it's a long one off sticks, but I get steady and let it rip.
Alright, Andy's now going for number 3. Same as the first one actually, we're just getting the photo set up for the 2 foxes together, and this one came in up the side of this chicken shed, come through this long grass, and then I think I probably cocked it up by lip squeaking and it decided to turn around and run, but it went around the back of these trees here, somewhere over there. We'll range it when Andy goes and picks it up. But I've stood up off the sticks, felt nice and stable, sent it, and boom, big thud straight down. So Andy is currently at 120 yards and counting. 160. He's 195. No, do you know what? That's about bang on. He's at 201 yards. Flipping heck. There you go, 201 yards off the Rekon Sticks, nice and stable. Triple dipple. Yeah. I would say dog fox because I can see his nuts in the thermal. Yeah, and I can see it's leaking some stuff out as well.
You can see your nuts in the thermal.
Actually, look, it genuinely looks like you've got a mangina in the thermal picture, because you. 201 yards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I've got some scales in my bag. I think we'll weigh him. Oh, my God. Look at him. Jesus, that is a tank.
Cubs. You nearly fucking killed me. Stop smoking then. I'm
Yeah.
fag now.
After a cracking start exiting stand 1 to move around the front of the sheds, we bump into a fox already inside the first layer of fencing. Sat inside the truck, I was hoping I could make it through the wire mesh, but the fox gets a temporary reprieve as I miss. The fox's luck was short-lived as we made it into the backfield, and the same fox was trying to find the exit in the fencing. So I very quickly and awkwardly took the shot without positioning myself properly on the stock. Ouch.
Oh, mate. I've got fucking kickback on the forehead when this goes.
Yes, lots of sympathy there from my co-parts. Fox number 5 would be another one that came in well to the lip squeak, although I'll just need it to move left of the pole so I haven't got that house behind it. Just like before, and only 2 minutes later, we've got another fox in the same field that we're now stood in, at the bottom. This was a fairly painstaking effort trying to get this fox to come in, and it took quite a long time before it was in a position where I could actually shoot it. Although this one not so sensitive as I'm shooting downhill.
Yeah, he did clip him with the first.
Yeah. Clipped myself with a second shot.
I wonder whether this part of the bullet hit him after it went through the fence.
Yeah, could one of them. Whew.
The second fox there was over a deep drain, so that will have to be collected by Andy in the morning. As we arrive at stand number 3 with 6 foxes now already on the deck, I spot Bodger the Badger making a hasty retreat from the 3 stooges getting out of the truck. With the caller once again playing the fox mating call, we draw attention in a neighbouring field, so I shimmy up the hedge to get myself in position. However, with a bunch of cows chilling out, we'd have to wait some time and be patient while we waited for all of the stars to get aligned. Andy's just whispered to me that there is now another fox in the same field, just a bit further back. I glimpsed the second fox with the thermal, get ready to take this one as it's now moved away from the cows, and quickly reload for the second one. I think that was one at 90 yards, and then the furthest one there was again roughly 200. Spinning around yet again to find a third fox in the same field that we're in. This one not so difficult, but it did take some stopping. With us approaching double digits, we start to contemplate the record on this farm, which is actually 14 foxes, as Andy lines up on the rabbit because he wanted to have a quick go with my setup.
Okay, now.
Arriving at stand number 4, and you can tell that we're in the north of the county now because we have plenty of undulation. This here shows the capabilities of the Habrok Pros. As I spot this fox, first of all, actually I saw a flush of birds come out the bottom of the woods there, and thought to myself, something's got to be down there. And of course, a fox comes out of the woods, and as you saw there, it was nearly 640 yards away, and I could still ID that perfectly as a fox. But as I'm doing so, just like previously this evening, a fox wanders in from the right hand side, and we leave this one a couple of minutes because it's already coming in our location. So having learned the lesson from earlier not to start squeaking automatically if it's walking in this direction, we just let it come so that it eventually gets within range, although I was struggling to get a good footing with my feet here. The other fox stayed in the middle of the field, a little over, I think it was 300 yards away, and just didn't want to come any closer. In fact, it just went parallel to our location. Try as we did, though, to get it to come, eventually it just wandered off. You can see the one we've just shot there, and that other one right out there in the middle of the field.
Well, we're on stand number 4, and this is fox number 10 for the evening, so we got to double digits. It would be fox number 11, but unfortunately we had a runner. And then fox number 12 also came into the field, but it's gone down into the valley and it's disappeared. You may have noticed in this video we're shooting amongst the hills. We're in the very north, well, much further north in the county. I'm down in the flatlands. I've got a lot more undulation in the topography of the land here. But I couldn't get steady. This ground's very uneven, unsteady. There's another youngster. Vixen, I think. Yep. Crikey, that's gonna zip that one, made a bit of a mess. Yeah, I don't like to censor that. We weren't going anywhere, was it? Bloody Nora. Right.
At the final stand of the evening, number 11 was pretty much a sitting duck. Again, a fairly good distance shot, maximum zoom there at 26.6 times, roughly 187 yards. Having succeeded with the fox vocalization calls this evening, I thought we'll stick with them. First sight was another badger, but all of a sudden CJ spots a fox the other side of the hedge, and yet again this shows just why thermal's sometimes worth its weight in gold.
That looked like that was quite a long way out there. It's a dark one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Good old bushy tail on it.
That is a good looker, isn't it? Seen this one, Andy? Cool, here's a lump.
Yeah.
Nice silver colour.
Either straight through or...
Yeah, well, that's the exit, that end.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, it is because it was the other way on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's quartering a bit. Yeah, he's a cracking colour. Under his bib here.
Very dark, look at it.
He's got like a cross on his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a smart one, isn't it? Good, bloody good result that. However many chickens would that lot have had? There's some bloody big uns there, isn't there?
Right lumps. Is that many small ones?
Well, no, they've been eating many chickens.
With all but one of the foxes now in the dead bin, destined for the incinerator the next day, it's time to head home. Next time out, I'm back out with Dwayne on the rats, and we take a closer look at the Stella 3.0. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and as always, happy shooting.